wrapping up a sort of a cheerleading event for the Affordable Care Act, saying it's the right thing for the American people, the right thing for some 10 million Americans who have now health care coverage that they wouldn't have had before. Senator Mike Lee on if the administration now does have that proverbial backup plan should the Supreme Court shoot down those subsidies, which are an integral part of it. It sounds like he does not. So then what if the Supreme Court were to shoot this down, Senator?
I'm not sure where we go from there, but I do want to know, Neil, that it's with a bit of irony that the president engages in this type of court bullying. I'm not quite sure what he expects to accomplish with this, but I suspect he's overlooking the irony of the moment. This is a law that was unconstitutional as written, unconstitutional in at least two respects, and but for the Supreme Court's decision to rewrite it, not just once but twice a couple of years ago, we wouldn't even be here. We wouldn't even be dealing with this. And so it's odd that he's bullying the Supreme Court again, rather than thanking the court for saving the law.
But I wonder if that might have turned the court about, because he did, I don't know if bullying was a word, but he was very condescending, saying, I don't even know why they took the darn thing up, paraphrasing here, but you are telling 9 justices to decide on the cases that they're going to discuss that they were idiots for discussing or even taking this particular one up. So I'm almost thinking they might have already ruled in his favor, and they're going to announce that next Monday. And they said, let me see that decision again. We'll go the other way. Did he hurt his argument by appearing so condescending?
I'm not sure that he heard it one way or another. I mean, the first thing we have to remember, Neil, is that the Supreme Court, by the time we get to June, has already decided how it's going to rule. I think it's very unlikely that he's actually going to influence the decision at this point.
Well, do you think that it will rule in favor of these subsidies? Because if they're in favor, then this thing is a train that's well along the tracks, right?
I'm not certain that it will. There was a time when I thought that appeared more likely than not. After the oral argument a couple of months ago, I flipped that prediction. I now think it's more likely than not that the court leaves this issue alone.
All right, but if they don't leave it alone, let's say the subsidies, they say, no, you can't do it. Can't do it. Then what?
If you can't do that, then I think you're going to see a lot of Republicans coming forward with some of the plans that have already been offered and others that are being developed right now, variations of which would try to replace Obamacare with free market reforms rather than re-entrenching and re-establishing Obamacare as this sort of top-down model where medical decisions are made by government bureaucrats in Washington instead of patients and their doctors.
Senator, thank you very much. I want to bring in my